Anyway, but yeah, I'm the one who did the Concorde and everything else. Like I say, anyone that wanted to write a news story or write a story about the Concorde, we provided like 36 free travel free travel tickets. I mean, we would like I say, uh, to encourage people to want to buy or people to want to fly, we would hand out free tickets, like a couple hundred or something like that. Anyone who wanted to write a paper, we'd give them. I actually paid for the newspaper. Well, I own the newspapers too, so I just made it possible for them to write their own stories and stuff like that, and even say whatever they wanted. And like I said, even bad press, it didn't really matter with the Concorde or with any of my jets, even the Titanic. Like people called it sinkable or it would never get to the other side. I mean, even negative stories and everything saying that it was this or it was that. We let some really outrageous and really horrible things like go slip past us. We would kind of go and talk to them and be like, look, you really shouldn't be saying these things and that kind of stuff. I mean, I had people doing it and just like, but it was all freedom of speech. I always, I always said that everyone's entitled to their opinion. And like I said, even people that would write bad reviews or this or that, I'd give them a free ride or whatever like that, a free round trip ticket to try it out, and see what they like and see if they liked it or not. So there was a lot of people writing bad stuff just to get a free ticket and stuff like that. But good review or bad review, like certain people, accredited people or whatever, not just not the crazies. We would let fly free on the Concorde or any of my jets just to fly it and then write a review. And then which they did. I got hundreds of thousands of reviews on the Titanic, on all my ships, because I encourage people to talk about it. Tell their family about it. Take the whole family. We'd give round trip tickets to whole families. Like I say, from the stagecoach days, that was me. The old give the driver a penny or whatever, a bit or 4 bits, and you get to go to the next town. That was me. So, I mean, my people just did whatever I asked, and we made money. Well, we had the food, so we made money. We are a tribe. We are a colony. You know, um, the queens, the kings, they were just doing, the queens mostly, they were just doing whatever I wanted. And mostly, I mean, there was some stuff where it's like, what the heck are you doing? you know, and there was some stuff where they needed to be talked to, by the group or whatever. But anyway, though, but yeah, I mean, I'm Lucifer. I'm the guy who invented everything, pretty much. And then so, like encouraging the market, encouraging people, getting people to fly. I'm the one that worried about everything. I worried about how they would look at it, what they would look at it, would they take it the wrong way, like the Indians and stuff. We talked to, because India was more or less a lower technology, had more lower technology people, so we made sure that the word got out there that there was a supersonic jet and that you'd be hearing the shockwave and explaining the shockwave to them a little bit better than Britons, because Britons, that they're a higher level technology thing, and so they've been around technology more, so they wouldn't be less. I was worried about them getting scared or worried about them thinking something was going on, and I wanted them to understand that this is technology and this is an aircraft, you know, because otherwise I didn't want them worshiping it or praying to it as like it's just an aircraft. Anyway, so I mean, I know how people are superstitious and how people get. I mean, like I say, Lucifer, me, I've been worshipped for thousands or millions of years, and so I wanted people to understand what was going on around them. I've always believed in understanding and knowledge, and if you just explain things out the right way, that people will understand. And I've always believed in the capability for my life forms to understand things. It's not just an Earth thing; it's a Lucifer star, 800 galaxies thing. It's just the way I am. And I mean, in past time, this Earth and some of the Earth colonies was the first time I've ever really done it quite like this. But I mean, I've led thousands of races or hundreds of races for trillions of years. I mean, I'm pretty well, I'm used to it. I've done it for thousands or millions of years. So Earth is just another planet to me. So anyway, though, but I mean, we were doing some new stuff and kind of pushing the limits a little bit more, or try out some new things, and I mean, it was new. Some of the things I've done on Earth, or they're not things that I've really done on other planets. I mean, the whole financial system and everything else. Usually, it's more of a communist system or a together system, and Earth was more of a finance. I was doing some new stuff, so I didn't know if it'd work out or not. So. Anyway, it's not a matter of going bankrupt. It's they're the bigger problems like overpopulation, plague, death, infighting. That's what I mostly deal with that. So on Earth, it was more like play zone, because it's like, okay, we've dealt with all the real problems. We have plenty of water. We have plenty of metal. Now we can really just kind of mess around and see what we can do. So we had already gotten through all the big hurdles, and so when everyone was naysaying and this and that, like, I knew it would be fine, but I mean, it's the bigger problems that I worry about, like people having 14 kids, and what happens if we all have 14 kids and everything else like that. That's my real job, is worrying about those kind of problems. And those are the things that would keep me up at night. Not whether or not I go bankrupt. Like, going bankrupt, that's just a financial thing. And I have so many companies anyway that it's like, they're all just groups to me. So, my Irishmen, my French, my Germans, and my Americans, and Australians. I mean, they're all just people. So, I'm the inventor that has to worry about everything else. While my people just do the math and just do the science, I'm the guy worrying about superstition and how to get my people to be with the projects that I'm doing, because I'm the leader. So anyway, yeah. And I'm Lucifer Star, White Star Lines and Titanic, Olympic, the Lusitania, submarines, just to name a few. The Concorde, the B2 or B1, and the B2, really, because I said a computer could make it fly, and they were like, no, it's impossible. It's like, well, not to a computer. A computer can work in milliseconds. We just have to know. We just have to create a model to know what it'll do. So they did the wind tunnel tests. Put someone on a flight simulator and then tried to do it, and then looked at that and then just said, okay, well, we'll just make it, and then faster and stuff like that. And that's how they got the models for all that, is doing those kind of wind tests and everything else like that, make a flyable wind test thing, I think. I think that's how they did that. Anyway, though, I figured it out and worked with them, and, and suggested things, and my scientists are really good, so they figured it out on their own. I mean, a lot of those British people, they got their slide rules, and they knew exactly what they were doing. They'd been doing it for generations. So they, as a public and everything else, a lot of people thought it wouldn't work or anything or something like that. Like I said, before the planes even took off, people were at the stock market going, sell, 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 knowing that the plane would crash midway before it reached the destination. And I would be over there, bye, bye, bye. All right, thank you. And then the plane would touch down. And people even listened to it on the radio. Because they thought that it wouldn't work. And I knew it would work. I mean, my people knew it would work. Whether or not there'd be that many destinations and all that other stuff, that was a different issue. So, but at the stock market, they're going, sell, sell, sell. And then when it touched down, buy, buy, buy. Stock, the stock market, as soon as the plane landed, I would have already just got the transactions and owned the company again. And and then they'd be like, yeah, can I cancel my... No, all sales are final.